Good evening, everyone. We're starting this evening our first session, live session, to discuss several issues and topics related to pop-up stores. So tonight we're going to get one point of view related to pop-up stores, and in future episodes we're going to discuss other points of views with other professionals from the field. So in a few moments, I will be joining PopUp United, the CEO of PopUp United, Mrs. Damilila Harris, to talk about pop-up stores and about the services that are provided by PopUp United. First of all, let's talk a little bit about pop-up stores and the importance of pop-up stores today. Well, pop-up stores are here to stay, and they are changing the face of commerce as we know it. Traditional retailing is becoming less relevant, and pop-up retailing is helping brands understand the value of customers and the values of relationships with customers vis-a-vis retail formats that are more engaging and more experiential, and so on. Moreover, we are looking at a high number of brands who are willing to invest in pop-up stores and who are willing to invest in engaging experiences through pop-up stores or pop-up retail. We are also looking at many service organizations who are working with pop-up stores in terms of designs, in terms of conception of interiors, in terms of communicating these types of stores, and so on. So pop-up stores are not only restricted to the store itself, pop-up stores are already becoming an important and a crucial element in the retail scene. So I'm going to welcome Demi in order to discuss more about pop-up stores and pop-up retail. Here we go. I'm waiting for Demi to connect.
Hello.
Hi there. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're happy to have you as well, and we are happy to discuss a point of view with you related to pop-up stores and pop-up retail. But first of all, can you introduce us to PopUp United and what do you do?
Okay, so my name is Damilila Harris, and I am the founder of PopUp United. And PopUp United was founded in 2018 with a group of small, medium-sized businesses. And it's just more about businesses coming together to have a good pop-up experience.
Great. So why did you find that investing in pop-up retail or focusing more on the pop-up retail business is important?
Okay, so I feel like pop-up in the UK is something that is growing, and it's an opportunity for small businesses to come together, especially businesses that are online and they want to network and be able to showcase what product or what their brand. So it's about networking and businesses coming together.
So if I understand well, we know already that there are established brands who have been engaging with pop-up stores, but what PopUp United does is focus on smaller retailers who would be using actually pop-up stores to grow their networks. So this pop-up store would give smaller retailers greater visibility.
Definitely. So it's about giving, like you said, is giving the pop-up, the brands visibility, and it's also about brands coming together as well. So, for example, when brands that are upcoming want to just know how to grow their business, so what they do is almost like we hold pop-up events so that they can come together, share ideas, and just grow together. So that's what we're all about.
As if we're highlighting on this importance of exchange, conviviality, and the social aspect of retail that we had missed for the past decade and that we are putting into focus now. More
Mhm.
than ever, we are so looking at pop-up and the event of pop-up stores. Could you tell us the importance of events in today's pop-ups retailing? How important an event is in a pop-up retail
Yes,
context?
I think events like how shopping is, when you go into a supermarket, you just go in and you come out, there's not really much interaction. But with pop-ups, especially with pop-up events, it's all about that interaction. It's all about that socialization. It's all about growing, and it's all about connecting with your community. So I think now more than ever, these kind of pop-up stores and pop-up events are very crucial for small and medium-sized businesses that want to grow, that want to connect with their local community, and want to further develop themselves. So that's the reason why pop-up events are really, really important, especially today. Especially today.
Dami, can we try to look into detail at a growth of these retailers or smaller retailers? How can we measure growth and the creation of awareness through pop-up stores?
I would say it's more about having sometimes it's about having that social media interaction. So what we have is not just where we come to for pop-up events. We also have WhatsApp group for our small, medium-sized businesses where you can grow not just in the pop-up stores but also together. So to me, I think that it is all about everyone, looking for new. Sorry, I just got lost in my conversation.
No
Looking for
worries.
new ways to connect with one another. So I think it's all about that, really. And to be honest with you, the WhatsApp group is really a really good way for people to share ideas, to connect with one another, and that is what it's all about. It's all about the connection, it's all about the interaction, and it's all about growing together.
Yeah, so we're highlighting the importance of personal context
Yeah,
and personalized actually communications. So
yeah.
can you tell us a little bit more on how can we plan for a pop-up event? How is it conceived? Is it a several minds coming together to plan an
Yeah.
event, or is it you who comes up with the idea and hosts other brands who might be interested?
I think, to be honest, it depends. Most of the time, I would normally say I would put it out there in the social media that looking to have a pop-up event. And then what would happen is that as small businesses come together, we would then talk about how we're going to have the event, where we're going to have it. So it's not just something that happens in a week. It does take months to plan these events because you want to plan it properly. You want to get the word out. You want to let the community, or wherever you're going to hold the event, you want them to know about it as well. So it's about, working together with the businesses so that we can all come together and be able to hold a successful event.
So, in order for you to coordinate all of these brands coming together, do you have like a work plan that everyone has to adhere to in order to come and join you? Or do things happen haphazardly when doing these types of events?
Yes, I would say that we have to have a plan, definitely, because if you don't have a plan, then things just don't go well. So I would say it is about having a work plan. It's about having a structure in place,
Yeah,
putting a structure in place. And I think it's also about giving the information to the businesses that are going to be coming or joining us whenever we're holding the pop-up events, so that everyone is on board, because it's very good for everybody to be on board at the same time, so that everyone knows step by step how the event is going to be,
good.
what they're going to do, and how it's going to plan out on the day. So
So,
yeah,
so we're saying that time is important. A pop-up
very
store
important.
doesn't happen from a day to another because sometimes you have these misconceptions. What
Yeah,
about budgeting? Are
yeah.
there budgets that need to be taken into consideration by the brand in order to adhere to this pop-up event?
Yes, definitely. There has to be a budget, because you have to put a budget aside for the social element of it, to get the word out that the event is going to be taking place. Also, the marketing, the people that are going to be supporting you with the marketing side of things. So, and also, you have to put a budget together for just the kind of like the everyday kind of planning. So there is a budget, because you can't hold these events without not having a budget aside. So it's about breaking down the budget and looking at where things are more important. And I would say definitely when we're holding a pop-up event, it is the social element that is the key element, because you want to get the word out and you want people to know that the pop-up events are happening. So you have to put more money into it.
Does money also do we allocate actually important budget to communicate on social media or other
Yeah.
traditional media?
Yes,
So
yeah.
what is the importance of social media in that pop-up formula?
Yes, the importance of social media. I think social media is a fantastic tool now, and we use it a lot for our events. And that is something that we, in terms of putting a budget aside and, paying, like, for example, Instagram or Facebook,
Yeah.
so you have to let people know when your events are happening. So definitely you have to put, like, for example, sponsored ads to let them know that this event is happening. And yes, so that's how it is. And also the local community as well. So for example, if you're holding an event in a community, you need to go to maybe the press and let them know that this event is happening, so that they can also come on board, so that the people in the community knows. And it's about, sharing flyers as well. So there's so many different things in terms of the social elements that need, we do.
So it's really getting the word out there and trying to get as much buzz as needed in order to grab the attention of people and get them there.
Yeah.
What types of brands do you usually host? Are there types of brands who are more interested in doing pop-up stores than others, such as fashion, food, jewelry?
I would say, to be honest, we are about working with all brands. We don't look at any brand as, no, we don't want to work with this brand, or we don't want to work with that brand. I mean, we're all about inclusion, and we love any brand, that small brands that want to come on board. So it is just about different brands coming together. So that's what makes it so special. So it's about different brands, from fashion to art to jewelry to cooking. So we are about different event. I mean, sorry, different brands.
So
So
you
there's
put
no,
together in one event several types of brands that make the event more
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
We can also ask everyone who's joining us to prepare their questions if they have
yeah.
any questions for you, so they can ask them to you. Demi, what types of results can be expected from a pop-up event?
I would say it really depends, because most of the time we try to get the best result we can. So we try and make sure that we market it as much as we can. We push the word, we let people know what's going on time. So we aim to get the best results when it comes to pop-up events. What we try and do is we make sure that there is a high footfall in wherever we are holding our events. So maybe, for example, it's at a marketplace or somewhere close to a marketplace. So then at least there's a more, how would I say, there's a bigger community in that area. So we try and make sure that wherever we're holding the event, there is a big marketplace. So that also helps as well.
Yes, so the dwell
Yeah,
in that location.
yeah,
Demi, let's try to wrap up everything that we have been saying before presenting some tips related to pop-up stores. So what you do is you work with small or medium brands who are interested in doing pop-up events. You concentrate on the social aspect of the event, which is looking at more exchanges on site and on digital platforms or social media. You also aim at enhancing the word and spreading it in the community. You are
yes,
choosing locations that present more access maybe or customer dwell, and where more people can be found in order to benefit from the pop-up event. And
yeah,
we also understood that preparing a pop-up event is not happening overnight. It takes a
no,
lot of time to prepare. And when we are doing pop-up events, we are trying to gather as many types of brands as possible in order to create that sense of variety.
yes, that's very key.
Perfect. So how can we now help people who are looking to engage in such events or maybe engage in these types of pop-up stores? What tips can you share with us on planning our next pop-up store through these types of events?
Okay, so I would say it is something that you need to really sit down and think about, because you're working with businesses and you're working with people's brands. So you need to make sure that expectation, you make sure that you try and not try and eh, tell people in advance that, okay, don't have, there is expectation, but just make sure you minimize your expectation. Don't be too, I don't know what the word is, but don't be too, sorry, the word has just gone off my mind. But it's about minimizing.
Optimistic, maybe
Yeah,
not being
that's it.
very optimistic.
Yes, yes, so that's it. So also letting people know in advance, through social media, through emails, that there is a pop-up event happening. And just making sure that whoever the brands that you're working with, they are informed every step of the way when you are holding a pop-up event,
Yeah.
because it is about working together. So you want to make sure that every brand is on board every step of the way.
Perfect. I think we have a little question for you, Demi. What would be the best period or season to have a high engaging pop-up store in the UK?
I would definitely say Christmas time is a really good time, because everyone is merry and everyone is, got a little bit more money to spend. So I would say Christmas time is a really, really good time when if you want to hold a pop-up event or store. Yeah.
Okay, and we have another question. How much time in advance do you need to start communicating the event date?
I would say that at least you would need maybe about 6 months to let people know, or 4 to 6 months. It depends on how big you want the event to be. So if it's a small event, then I would say maybe about 3 months or 4 months. But if it's a really big event and you want a really big turnout, I would say you need to let people know way in advance. So it would be about 6 months to start planning it and start getting the word out.
Okay, I believe maybe we should also advise the brand who is already engaged in the event. When would you advise that he or she starts communicating the day of the event? Maybe a week ahead or a month
Yeah,
ahead?
I would definitely say maybe months ahead. So months ahead, because you want a good turnout. So you want to get the word out and you want people to know about it. And the more people know about it, the more exciting they get. So so you want to keep letting people know regularly when the events are happening.
Okay, I don't know if we mentioned this, but is there a time period for these pop-up events? Do you pop up for a week, a weekend, or less?
Yes, I think a Saturday is a really good day. We normally tend to hold our events maybe on a Saturday because that's when people are not working, and it's a family event, so people are off, so it would be a Saturday would be a really good day, or a bank holiday would be another good day. So I would say if you're looking to hold an event, I would definitely say a Saturday or a bank holiday.
Okay, I think someone had been asking you for how long have you been doing these pop-up events?
We started in 2018 and we have grown since then. So it's been about 3 years. Is it 3 years now? Yeah. Yes, it's been 3 years.
Perfect. I missed the question before that. I think someone had been asking how you encourage selling products throughout your event. So maybe he's focusing more on action-based results.
Sorry, how do you encourage focus? Sorry, repeat that again. How someone asked.
How can we encourage selling our products on the event?
I would say make sure that you share the word on your social media contacts. You also let people know if you're doing discounts, because giveaways and discounts is always a good tip. And
Sure.
people definitely gravitate towards discounts and things. So I would say that is a good tip. So if you are having, like, if you're holding an event or you want to come to a pop-up event, make sure you're doing like discounts, because people love when it's like a discount and they've got something to look forward to.
Yeah, it ties them actually to take
Yeah.
action. We have one more question. Is the current situation changing the consumer behavior? And do you think brands will start adapting different strategies today?
I would say definitely. So what we are doing, or what we're about to do, is start going virtual. So it's about looking at ways that we can do things differently. So we will be doing more online streaming for small businesses that want to come on board and want to sell or showcase their brand. So that's how we're going to be getting the word out more. So we want to do online streaming, online marketplace, so that people can still buy, even if it's not having that, even if it's not outside, but you can still buy online. Yeah.
Perfect. Demi, do you have anything else that you would like to share with everyone who's been watching us?
No, I just want to say thank you, and thank you very much for having me. And please watch out for our online streaming. We're looking to have our first one on the 31st of May, and it's going to be really good. So we are going to have 10 businesses that we're going to be working with, so that we can do a stream and people would be able to buy on our various social platforms. So please look out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining, and good luck, Demi, with all of your projects. And we'll always be in touch related to all of these exciting information about pop-up stores and your future events. Have a great evening.
You too. Thank you. You too.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.